Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of Jay Does Sports. I'm Jay. If you haven't been here, glad to have you here. Please stay, subscribe if you like, all that fun stuff. But we have some pretty big tidbits of information going over next year's NCAA rules and the NBA play-in games just finished up, so we'll be going over that a little bit, as well as a couple of other things, including the NFL and PGA. First of all, though, we just wrapped up NBA play-in games. Had the Heat beat the Bulls 112-91, and the Pelicans beat the Sacramento Kings 105-98. I am surprised a little bit by the Pelicans outcome. I was kind of expecting the Kings to come out swinging a little bit more. And without Zion Williamson for the Pelicans, I thought that they wouldn't be able to do much. Obviously, they were able to. It was a close game. I will give the Kings that, but Pelicans just outlasted them. They went on too many runs. Kings couldn't really be as consistent as the Pelicans were able to tonight. With the Heat, they just kind of ran the game. That's about it. I expected that outcome a lot more, just because the Bulls have been not great this year. I don't think, even without Jimmy Butler, I could still see them not going very far in the playoffs for the NBA, but I still think they are a good team, and they aren't just pushovers. With that being said, though, the playoffs for the NBA will start tomorrow. I'll show the official bracket here for you. But my whole thing, people are talking about the Nuggets and Lakers first round game, saying that the Lakers can still put up for themselves against the Nuggets. People are expecting it to go to 6 or even 7 games for the series, and LeBron's one of the greatest of all time. Everybody knows that, right? The Nuggets are just too good, I think. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, they're defending champions. I don't see them going away. I think it'll be maybe 5 games. Maybe. I'll give LeBron and them benefit of the doubt, but they're just too good. Lakers are kind of iffy, depending on the night. Anthony Davis, he played in a lot more games this year, I'll give him that, but he's still made out of glass. I don't see that going very well. But with that being said, what I think is going to happen, what the final picture will be, in my opinion, would be the Nuggets versus the Celtics for the finals. And I mean, I'm gonna take the Celtics. They've looked virtually unstoppable this season, and they've just been going on a tear. That's about it for that. NHL playoff start as well Saturday. I don't know honestly as much on the NHL as I do other sports, but I do think the matchup I would like to see in their final series, or I guess not series, but whatever, would be the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I still like Austin Matthews, and I guess his story. If you're not going to get the 70 goals in a season, at least get the cup, right? The better version of the Stanley Cup instead of like a little stupid little cup like this. I've never understood that obsession. Anyways, on from basic white girls. Edmonton Oilers on their own are a phenomenal team. So yeah, that is the matchup I would like to see. More news from the NCAA. Massive for college football. They voted on and decided to put in helmet radios and 2-minute warnings into the games for this upcoming season. I think this is perfect for them. Keeps from sign stealing Michigan. And I feel like that will get them ready for the NFL as well. Quarterbacks, if they are going to take that route. Also, for the 2-minute drill, I feel like that's kind of more of a cash grab than anything. Get some more commercial times. I don't think that really affects play at all, except for maybe getting them a free little timeout for however long. But all in all, I do think it is great that they're putting in helmet radios. I feel like that's a good step for the game. More news out of the PGA. The youngest, well, I guess this isn't the PGA, this is the Korn Ferry Tour, but the youngest player ever to make cut in the Korn Ferry Tour shot a 66 today for him to make the cut, and he is 15 years old. That's bonkers. I when I was 15, I was not playing well. I mean, I don't play great golf now, but like then, so much worse. And I wasn't thinking about golf. I was, doing not that kind of nice thing, I guess. But just thinking about girls and getting drunk, basically, right? I mean, I wasn't playing golf. I wouldn't that kind of a level in a sport. That it's insane. Good for him. Miles Russell is his name. Also, RBC Heritage is being held this weekend. They had their cut. And at the moment, there's 4 people tied for first, including Colin Morikawa and Sepp Straka. I'm rooting for Colin Morikawa. I think he's a great guy. Very well spoken. Very just a all around good human being, and obviously a great golfer. Scotty Scheffler's also in the mix there. He's at 8 under, which I believe is tied for like 11th or something like that. And he's been playing fantastic recently. Obviously, the Masters win, and I believe the Arnold Palmer Invitational also got that under his belt. He's been playing bonkers, and personally, I think he's going to be in a situation where he's playing at an elite level, obviously in the PGA, but I kind of feel like the rest of the PGA, there's no great performances happening from anybody else right now. And I feel like Scotty Scheffler, if he's able to just keep that consistent, he could go for a tear and make this one of the greatest seasons of all time for a PGA professional, which I look forward to if that does happen. Just really, really impressive play from him. On to the NFL. There's been talks of Caleb Williams, the nail polish USC star, Heisman Trophy winner. And he knows that. He knows all of that very well. I think he's very full of himself personally. And he knows it going into it too. He's been acting full of himself with the Bears organization. Apparently, a person from his camp told the Bears that they need to have like proper infrastructure to make sure that Caleb Williams has the tools to make his Tom Brady run with them. This guy hasn't been drafted yet. Why were you talking about this already? I think he was good in college, but I feel like all this has kind of gone to his head. Also, apparently, instead of doing some pre-draft training, decided to go to Tokyo with his girlfriend. His head just isn't in the game right now, I think. And that just doesn't set a good tone for me personally. I feel like it could come to bite the Bears in the butt, just because you don't want an airhead on your team in general, but you don't want one manning like at the top level. You don't want him making calls when he's just that full of himself. I think you want a team leader. You want somebody who's gonna, keep you going. Along with stuff from his dad, trying to get him to have a share in the team instead of getting like a typical salary from them. I could end up being wrong, but I honestly think it's going to be a bust. I mean, he's just so overhyped, and we'll see how cards play for him. I wish him the best, I guess, but it's just odd to me. More news in the NFL. The Chiefs have told people, or at least there's been insiders from the Chiefs that have told people that they are looking at their options since they're not getting their tax money to upgrade Arrowhead Stadium. I think that would be the biggest stab in the back to move their team from Kansas City. I feel like they've had loyal fans. I hate to talk bad or talk good about this team. I don't really like the Chiefs at all with all the stuff that's been going on with them recently. Not necessarily the winning, but just so much in the media and crap like that. And it's just like, I want to watch football, man. That's all I'm here for. I don't want to tune in to hear about this like loving relationship, I guess. Whatever. But they're saying that they are looking into the chance. It's not definite or anything. It might just be something to scare them into giving them more tax money to help with renovations of Arrowhead Stadium, whatever they may need. But that's got to be massive. I feel like that'd be such a stab in the back to their fan base. It reminds me of the Oakland A's leaving Oakland recently, or at least announcing that they're leaving Oakland. Having a loyal fan base through all these years, and then one little hiccup in that relationship, and it's just gone. I don't get that. I feel like it's kind of spineless from the owners, but as Alex, it is a business. It is a business, right? Got to do what you got to do. Also reminds me of the Baltimore Colts leaving overnight. Again, it hasn't happened yet. So hopefully it doesn't for the people in Kansas City, but that would be really just sad to see if it were to come to fruition. Also, Sean Payton says that they are going to need to draft a quarterback. The Broncos are, and saying that it needs to be the right fit. I thought that Russell Wilson was a great fit for him. Or, I mean, not a great fit. He wasn't, playing like an MVP out there. Not the Russell Wilson of old, but who expect them to be, He put up good numbers. I think we all knew, though, when they sat him on the bench for the last few games of the season, just to avoid paying him money, that relationship with him and Sean Payton had just completely fallen apart. Whether they even had one to begin with. So hopefully, if that were to happen, I don't think Sean Payton treated Russell Wilson with the greatest respect, and I think it showed towards the end of that. Russell Wilson's just a great guy. And you could tell that there was some frustration going on the sidelines. Sean Payton absolutely chewing out Russell Wilson on the bench mid-season or something like that. But, yeah, hopefully they learn from that, I guess. I don't think Sean Payton would be able to coach one of these young guys into becoming a great the way he used to. I think a lot of coaches, especially the younger coaches, know that this newer generation coming into the NFL you have to coach him differently than what used to be cranked out of the league. And he just hasn't gotten the memo yet, but we'll see who they possibly end up drafting in this year's NFL draft. And finally, little special happy birthday to Troy Polamalu, the great Steelers safety. Apparently had his birthday today. Happy birthday, man. Bunch of highlights from you. When I was younger, just blew up, and all the stories on like Pat McAfee show, you and the goddamn C Gap from Polamalu. He used to call you in that. But yeah, happy birthday to one of the greatest to ever do it. And with that, that's the end of our show for today. The way I'm going to run this for the weekends is I more than likely won't do Saturday or Sunday shows. Although if something big happens, I might hop on my phone and just give 2 cents towards things. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed. Do whatever you want. I'm glad to have you here. But everybody, y'all have a good weekend.